What is going on YouTube? Another video coming at you from Redskins Rant, Health of the Redskins. Today I'm going to be discussing two things. I'm going to do it all in one video from now on. I've not had the time to do two separate videos. I might actually do one Saturday, but just as kind of like a more in-depth, because I'm off Saturday and my wife's going to see her family. This is my reaction to the Giants game. I have some I'm very upset about the Giants game, and a lot of reasons. Not just one specific reason, there's a lot of reasons. So first off, if you didn't see the game, we lost 19-20. There's a lot of reasons why we lost the game, and I'll go into detail on all three of the reasons people say, and I'll give my reasons as to why I think it is. First thing, our defense, actually, I want to give defense credit a little bit. Defense stepped up in this game. They only gave up 13 points. They did. Now there's a fumble run back for a touchdown. That was not the defense's fault. So defense held the Giants to 13 points. So I gotta give defense credit on that. They held a team. I said if they hold a team to 20, below 20, we're gonna win games. Okay, and guess what? If they'd have just taken care of the football, the game would have been ours. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing. Our defense is okay. Kendall Fuller has three interceptions. His interception in the last 3 games. So good for him. He's playing very well. He's the one guy on that defense to me that's earning his money. We didn't get a lot of sacks. We might have got a sack or 2, but I don't think we got that many sacks. Now talking about that's the defense. I think the defense did pretty well. They gave up a touchdown, or they let them move the ball early in the first half. Get up 13 in the first half, but they literally shut them out in the second half. So they did their job, and that's what I want out of the defense. I wish the defense come out of the gates a little bit more ready to go. I think the defense comes out very flat, and then they react, and then we're behind by then. But I got to credit the defense. They did their job and gave the offense a chance to win the football game for us. We were tied 13-13 at one point, and we had a chance. We were driving, and then a fumble happened, and now we're down 20-13. So, defense, I got to give defense credit. I've ripped on them the last few weeks. They stepped up and got the job done today. Whenever the Giants were driving, they got an interception. Whether you think that Kendall Fuller was in or out of bounds, doesn't matter. That's what they called, and you have to go with what they called in the field, and they couldn't overturn it. So, defense did its job. Defense did a great job. I've been ripping on them for the last 4 or 5 weeks. 5 weeks. So, I got to give them 4 weeks. I gotta give them extraordinary credit where credit's due. They did their job. They pretty much shut down the Giants' offense for the most part. Now the offense. The offense, to me, lost this game. And mainly one player in the offense, but I'll get to that here later. Kyle Allen actually didn't look horrible running the offense. But I'm going to say this, and I know I've been beating this dead horse. I'm going to try to move on from it. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it anymore. It's just bitching about Haskins being benched is not going to help. I have another segment in another thing I'm going to talk about that has to do with that specifically. But I feel like the play calling has favored Kyle Allen's skill set when it never did that with Haskins. There seems to be more balance with run. There seems to be more play action. There seems to be more rollouts. Never had that with Haskins. He basically would either turn the hand off or be in shotgun where they knew he was going to pass it. They never had an in-between. They never had an in-between on that. So that's my opinion. Just watching it, it does seem that the play calling does favor Kyle Allen's skill set a little bit better. But Kyle Allen, he moved the ball. He moved the ball around. He got up and down the field a little bit. He turned the ball over twice, and those to me were some backbreakers. So to start out in the game, we missed a field goal on one of our first possessions. Actually, I think it was our first possession. We missed a field goal. Now, a lot of people were saying that is the reason why we lost, because we missed a field goal. No. If we made that field goal, it just changes the whole trajectory of how everything else happened in the game. It doesn't really change. If you miss field goal at the end, sure. Yes, it makes sense. But there's so much time between our first possession and the end of the game that hundreds of other things could have changed in that course of the game that could have dictated our wins or loss, or our win or loss, us winning or losing the game. So I don't think the field goal was the reason we lost. You can't add 3 points from the first 2 minutes of the game or whatever and say that dictated the game. No, it didn't. A field goal was not going to change it in the beginning of the game. At the end of the game, if we are in a position to get a field goal to win and he missed, yes, you can say that because there's nothing else you can do to fix that. We had plenty of time to overcome that missed field goal. Okay. Back to the offense. So again, I've said it for weeks and it still hasn't happened. Antonio Gibson can't get fucking 15 carries. Why is that so hard? Why is that so complicated for this offensive coordinator to get your star running back, the guy you cut, Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs ever for, to get the ball 15 times so you can warrant your decision to cut Adrian Peterson? Or at least keep, I don't know why you just wouldn't keep Adrian Peterson, get rid of Barber. Barber's freaking horrible. But why? Why is that so hard of a concept to just run the ball with him 15 times? Like, I get it, you want to, like, balance between him and McKissick, but, okay, get one of them 15 carries. You need to have, you have the ball control a little bit. This game, we had ball control. We had a decent amount of ball control where we controlled the clock for a certain amount of time, and we gave our defense, we gave ourselves a chance to win because the other team just did not have the football. That alone gave us a chance to win. The fact that the other team did not have the football that much compared to us gave us a chance to win the game. Okay? Unless you're playing the Chiefs that don't need that much time to score, any game you're in and where you can win the time of possession significantly, you're going to have a very good chance of winning that football game. And for some reason, Scott Turner does not want to commit to the run. I don't know what. Maybe it's because we get down, but we're not in this game. We were not down enough that it warranted us not running the ball. We were never down by a point where, like, oh, this game's getting out of hand, we got to pass to catch up. It was never that point. So the running game's non-existent. Passing game, I saw some things I liked. Logan Thomas got involved. Obviously, Terry McLaurin got involved. He's obviously a stud. And I think Isaiah Wright got involved a good bit too. I think Isaiah Wright is becoming a pretty good option as a receiver. I really think Kelvin Harmon really held the team together. I really think that we're missing him at the number 2 spot. I don't know what's going on with Sims. Maybe Sims doesn't fit into Turner's offense very well. But Steven Sims, I had higher expectations for him. Maybe at the 2 spot he's not that good. Maybe he's better at the 3 spot. Maybe they were trying to squeeze him in with a Harmon spot and then put him back and put Steven Sims, put him there and put someone else in the slot. Maybe he's just better as a 3rd option. That might be what it is. But right now, Isaiah Wright, I think, is doing a great job of stepping in for him. I still don't like Dontrell Edmond. I don't know why we play him. Gandy Golden got injured. Sadiq Charles got injured. I like seeing Sadiq Charles getting the opportunity to play, but he got injured. So the offense, like I said, the offense actually looked better than it has in a while. Now, what can you contribute that to? Is it because of the quarterback? No. The quarterback is one of the main reasons we lost this game. I'm going to get to that a little bit later. He's one of the main reasons, though, that we lost this game. Is it because play calling? No, I just think after you had you had your 4 preseason games, and you figured out what the team was, and this is why I had an issue with benching Haskins. You had 4 preseason games to know what Haskins was good and bad at, and you formulate the offense around that. It did not do that. They had a plan set in place automatically for Kyle Allen, and they literally just went to Kyle Allen and just said, piss on Dwayne Haskins. I'm not getting into that right now. I'll get into that a little bit later. So we have, let's talk about the quarterback. The quarterback threw an interception in the first quarter. And that interception led to a touchdown. So they get a touchdown off of that. There's 7 points off of our turnover from our quarterback. In the 4th quarter, we are driving. We are tied. We are driving. We are at least in field goal range, at the very least in field goal range. And somehow, not somehow, our quarterback is getting sacked, Kyle Allen, and he literally coughs up the ball. Like, it pops out. It's not like a normal fumble where someone, like, strip sacks and knocks it out. He's, like, holding on to it and it just, like, pops out, like, bleh. And they return it, like, 70 yards or 60-some yards or whatever it was for a touchdown. And then I don't think that was the backbreaker. That was, like, 90% of the loss goes there on that play to the quarterback. If he does not fumble the ball there, we at least get a field goal. And our defense has shown the entire game our defense has the ability to get stops and our ability to get that team off the field. That offense is not very good. What's his name threw the ball he had like 128 passing yards or something. Threw the ball 19 times, Daniel Jones, and he ends up winning. It wasn't because he was better. It was because our quarterback made more mistakes. That's the only reason why he won. Now, I as much as the mistakes that Kyle Allen made, he bounced back pretty well from them. I got to give him credit. I mean, I think he's okay at running the offense. I think he's a little bit better than Haskins at this moment because they've catered the offense to his skill set. I will say that. But it doesn't mean I think he's better than Haskins. I think Haskins could do just as well against his team, if not better, because he proved it last year. In one quarter last year, got like 150 passing yards. Okay, so I mean, nothing you're going to tell me is going to say, oh, this guy is significantly better than Haskins. No, I think this guy's they cater everything to make him look better than Haskins. That's what my personal belief is. So you don't have to believe that, but moving on to the crux of the game. After Kyle Allen had both of his turnovers, he came back, bounced back, moved the ball, and the offense moved the ball field very well. So I'm not going to get on the Kyle Allen. He did fumble the ball, but he also came back and threw a dime touchdown in the back of the end zone to Cam Sims for the chance to tie the game up. Now here is one of the ones that really irks me. The coach, Ron Rivera, decides to go for two. Kyle Allen, they have Kyle Allen rolling out to his left, not his right for some reason. I don't know why you would do that. He actually had a guy open. He had Terry McLaurin open the back of the end zone, just didn't throw it, just backpedaling. He probably could have ran possibly for the actual end zone. It's possible. I don't know. You can't always gauge the speed of NFL players, but it's possibly could have. It looked like he had a lane. He had an opportunity to do it, but he ends up not, and we end up losing 19-20. We don't get the onside kick, so we end up losing 19-20. Now, the reason we lost, I think, is because of Ron. Now, you're like going to say, like, oh, you're just blaming Ron because you're mad at him. Damn right I am. He's made some dumbass decisions this entire season, so I'm going to add on to his dumbass decision list. I'm going to add another check mark to it, another dumb decision. In his press conference, he had so many things in his press conference I was so mad about, but I'm going to start with the first thing. In his press conference, he said, when you're the away team, you go for two. No, Ron, you don't. You're not wrong what you're saying. It's just you're not using the proper context. You go for two when you're the away team and there's fans that could like sway like a team or against your team in overtime. Okay? You don't want the momentum to go back to the other team because they have fans there that can pump up the crowd or whatever. That's not the case in New York. They had no fans there. It's a neutral field. There's no home field advantage or whatever. If there was a home field advantage, you would have a more valid point. But it's not a valid point. You should have taken the extra point. Our defense has shown all game long that the Giants can't move the football on them. They can't. Okay? And Daniel Jones is enough of a fuck up that he probably could have, if we kicked the ball off with 30-some seconds left with the game tied, and they probably would have tried to go for the field goal, he probably would have turned it over and put us in a position where we can just get a field goal and win the game. Not saying that's not possible at all. I can't turn the brightness up or whatever. Not saying that would definitely happen, but that's not out of the realms of possibility. And even if that doesn't happen, let's say they just kneel on it and we go to overtime. In overtime, our defense is shutting them down. Our offense is rolling. Our offense scored 2 touchdowns or moved the ball consistently in the second half. You have an offensive drive for a field goal, offensive drive that was, even though we were driving, but we fumbled it, we still moved the ball down the field, and then a touchdown. Nothing in my mind, in your mind should say, oh, well, our offense can't move the ball in this defense. The fuck it can't. That's just dumb coaching. I think it's a dumb decision, and he gave a dumbass reason as to why he gave the decision. There's no logic. I hope it's chemo brain. I hope he's not like this next year in the next 5 years. This is fucking horrible. Okay, I stand by my team no matter what. So I have a friend of mine, his name's John. He comes into my store. I'm an AT&T manager. Comes into my store and he talks Redskins with me, and he's a lot more negative about the team than me. And I'm trying to stay positive because, you know, I like to do videos about the team. I like to talk about the team. I like to watch the team play. Come win, lose, or draw. And it's really hard to not argue with them. It's really hard to argue with them whenever Ron does dumbass shit like this. It really is. It's really fucking hard to do. When he's benching our quarterback after 4 games, after he said he was going to get a fair shake, that's not a fair shake. after he makes dumbass decisions like not using his timeouts to get more experience for your quarterback, all this stuff, all this dumb decisions, and then to cap it all off, he goes for 2 in a game where our defense dominated, our offense moved the ball, probably our best out showing as a team other than like the Eagles game, probably our best overall showing as a team. And he decides, you know what, we're just going to go for 2. We're not going to put everything else we've worked for today. We're not going to put any stock in that. We're just going to go for 2 and roll the dice here because I'm Riverboat Ron. Riverboat Ron. It's fucking stupid, man. I can't stand it. And then this is the one that really irks me. In the press conference after the game, I'm just going to refresh what happened with Haskins. This is apparently why he got benched. Haskins was bragging that after being told if you don't play well, you're going to be benched, was bragging that he had his best statistical game he's ever had in the locker room. He's just excited about it, whatever case may be. And Ron told him, like, you're bragging about stats after a loss, you're done. You ain't playing for this team ever again. And it rubbed him the wrong way. What kind of fucking hypocrisy are you, Ron? He literally said in his press conference, he's sitting there talking about Kyle Allen's stats. And saying, oh, Kyle Allen had 250 passing yards. Yeah, he moved the ball pretty well. Yeah, other than those turnovers, Kyle Allen looked amazing. Like, why are you bragging about? You literally just benched a quarterback because you didn't like him bragging about stats. But to validate your decision to start Kyle Allen over Haskins, you decide that you are going to brag about Kyle Allen's stats. What? It's just fucking... Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I saw that. I'm like, dude, you literally just bragged about stats after benching a quarterback for bragging about stats. Like, you're fucking kidding me in a loss. If we'd have won, you have every right to. You have every right to validate your decision. But you're just using stats to validate it rather than, oh, we got to win. That validates my decision better. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. It really fucking pisses me off how fucking hypocritical he is all the effing time. It's like he doesn't even care anymore. He doesn't care how hypocritical. I really hope it's chemo brain. I can't stand this anymore. At least Jay Gruden wasn't like hypocritical. He just gave it to you straight. He ain't talking to media. He'd stick his nose up to the media, whatever. But at least he was like, he'd give it to you a lot more straighter than Ron is right now. I thought Ron was more of a straight shooter. He's just a fucking liar. That's all he is. All right, so I'm going to move on to the conversation about the Dallas Cowboy game. Going to this game, Dallas, 2 weeks ago, I said Dallas was going to kick the shit out of us. And now with Dak Prescott, and I saw them play this weekend, not too confident in that prediction. I don't think Andy Dalton moves the ball as well as Dak did. I don't think the defense can stop anyone. Their offensive line is beat up. And Ezekiel Elliott's fumbling the ball a lot. And the receivers don't really show. They'll probably show up against us, to be honest. But receivers don't really play until they're down by like 20 points. So I give Washington a very solid chance to win this game. I think we can establish the run. I don't think anything on that defense says we can't pass the ball. And this is exactly why I wanted Haskins to play, because you have, other than like the Rams, he got more than 74 passing yards against the Rams. I bet my left nut on that. But he done just as well against the Giants, and he done the same thing against the Dallas Cowboys. In my opinion, I think Dallas, he would have ripped this team apart. But we'll never know, because Ron took that opportunity to look good away from Haskins. So now it's never gonna happen. But I give Washington a very good chance to beat Dallas. I think we can stop the run, and it'll make them one-dimensional. And if they are relying on Andy Dalton to pass against our defense, I think that's just not a good idea. I think our defense is starting to come into its own if it does anything close to what it did last week. So, and last week they shut down the run, and then they did a pretty good job in the passing game as well. They didn't break. So, that's my video. It's very short. I know I went over a decent amount of things. If you have any requests for like things you want me to talk about, just put them in the comments down below. And as usual, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and share this to all your friends so they can share in all this Redskin content, and they can join the conversation as well. And wow, okay. And without further ado, hail to the Redskins, and see you.